Welcome back with our main topic today. Well, Minister of International Cooperation, Dr. Rania Al-Mashat, virtually met with the European Investment Bank's Director Operations for Eastern and Southern Neighborhood, and also the regional representative of the European Investment Bank in Egypt and EIB's leaders in order to review and also to follow up on the performance of the ongoing development cooperation portfolio between Egypt and the European Investment Bank. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us our dear guest, Dr. Mustafa Waly, member of the Egyptian European Council and also the economic expert. Good morning, Dr. Waly.
Good morning to you.
Well, Dr. Waly, how do you see the importance of the strategic ties between Egypt and the European Investment Bank?
First of all, we should actually appreciate what is going on and what's done by this ministry and this lady minister, Dr. Rania Al-Mashat, for her activities, which is always yielding for the benefit and the goodness of Egyptian cooperation with a lot of international entities, especially the financial and the economic ones. That's very important. Well,
concerning the ties between Egypt and the
European. Across the years, our relations with our neighbors in the north, which is of course Europe in general, and of course lately, and not lately, I mean for quite some time now, for more than 30 years now, the European Union as a bloc.
Yes.
And it always shows that our relation with Europe as our northern neighbors, the better the relations, the better for both parties altogether. And just lately we have seen what is going on with on unilateral and multilateral relations between Egypt and some European countries and even the EU itself.
Yes. So, Dr. Waly, what about the effect that these strategic ties have on the cooperation in boosting the projects that are implemented in the fields of transportation and also water sectors?
Yes. Well, because we have a very big matrix for cooperation and fields of cooperation, but it's subject and it's up to Egypt to decide what is its priorities when it comes to such cooperation. And I think those areas which are mentioned in the portfolio of the cooperation is essential to Egypt. And there are a lot of improvements in these sectors and in these areas. Thanks to our keenness as Egyptian to solve some chronic problems and develop some certain services and some certain aspects of developing Egypt at large. So transportation and also water and some other items within this frame of cooperation have witnessed a lot of progress. That's even with the testimony and the acceptance and cooperation of the partners in Europe and the EU as large.
Yes. Dr. Waly, to what extent can Egypt expand the cooperation between Egypt and the European Investment Bank? Do we have a limit?
Well, of course, according to the banks itself, you know, and its main objective of cooperation with countries outside the EU, by the way, we could be the biggest. We are the biggest area or country of the activities of this bank, European Investment European Bank. And increasing the capacity of cooperation, increasing the success stories, this actually will make the management and the operators of this bank and the head of this bank satisfied, and they would like to give more because it's for the goodness, and it shows how important the cooperation, because at the end, whatever is a cooperation type or style between North and South, in this case Europe and us, it's for the goodness of both parties. But number one, it's for the goodness of Europe itself.
Yes, yes. So, Dr. Waly, how can Cairo widen the scope of the cooperation in order to provide the tools of innovative financing to enhance Egyptian leading role in the region?
Yeah, it's now known, very well known, success story for Egypt cooperation with the European Union. And when it comes to Africa, we are a leader in this field. Yes. And it proves every day that we are keen, and we know exactly what we are doing, so that even the appreciation and the appraisal of each project and the whole projects together is always given a positive response. This is by the testimony, again, as I was telling you, that by the leaders and the managers and top management of such economic and financial institutions.
Yes.
So this actually puts us in a position where we can ask for more, and then we get more for the benefit of our people, and at the same time to prove that cooperation always will yield for the benefit of such two parties. You know?
Yes.
A bloc like EU and Egypt as a country with its importance to the world and to the area.
To the region, yes, of course. So, Dr. Waly, how can the cooperation between Egypt and the European Investment Bank help in the field of transportation towards the green economy?
Well, the green economy now, it is the emerging topic in economy at large, all over the world now, especially in Europe and in North America, specifically United States.
Yes.
So the green economy, it proves that I think it will be soon the motive and the motto of the coming generations, I mean all over the world, because let's be frank that the climate change is a fact now, and the effect is very evident.
Yes.
And the effect is negative for the whole world.
Yes. So, Dr. Waly, to what extent does this partnership make a kind of boosting the process of development, and also opening the door for the participation of the private sector?
Yeah, an essential part of the mission and the objectives and the function of the European Investment Bank,
yes,
is to enhance what they call the market economy, where the main player in this case is the private sector. And there is a lot of success stories actually in Egypt, between Egypt and the European Union, EU in this aspect, you know.
Yes.
A lot of finance were given. Actually, it was around 1.3 billion just last year during this pandemic.
Yes.
Were given to the private sector, actually through banks, to assist and to develop and to cooperate with the private sector.
Yes. So, Dr. Waly, could you please shed more light on the European Union direct investment in Egypt, and the largest in Africa and the region?
Yeah, we are the largest operating country. I mean, the operation of this bank in Africa, we are the largest when it comes to all cooperation fields, like as we told, you know, water, transportation, and some other things, you know, when it comes to healthcare, whoever, a lot of activities. And but something now is in process that they mentioned and they declared, I mean, the people there in the EU in general and in these institutions, financial institutions, that soon a lot of the cooperation and the funds and the technical assistance and financial will go even up to 50% to the climate. And this is something very important. Especially it goes with us that, coincidence that we will be hosting the climate conference, COP,
yes, the climate
on
conference.
next November 22.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so that's something we have to keep in consideration. And luckily, we are taking the issue of let's say, the cleaner climate or better climate. We take it seriously. We have now one of the largest, if not the largest, renewable energy, solar energy in Aswan, which is a great project.
Yes.
A lot of participants and also some countries from the EU are participating. We're participating. Now it's a reality on the ground in Aswan.
Yes. Yes. So, Dr. Waly, as an expert, what are the main factors that attract the European investors to the Egyptian market?
It's one you can say it's in one issue. That's it. What you call investment-friendly atmosphere or climate. I mean, we as a country. And the government now are working hard, and especially those who are concerned about foreign direct investment and investment in general in Egypt, to make this a reality, to make it a fact, so that if we have a friendly environment for foreign direct investment, because this is part of the foreign direct investment, it's coming even if it's on the international, I mean country to country, I mean bilateral, or even private sector, which we want to get as much as we can from big international companies, and especially in the manufacturing field, because we have a lot of important advantage. Our location in itself, geographical location in itself, is the best advantage for us. But we can increase this, we can make it the best in the whole area if we complete, especially when it comes to the laws governing the process of how to invest in Egypt. And there is a big business in this case, and development also. So let's hope that with pandemic, with this COVID-19 is about to go away, there will be some troubles, I mean, let's say turbulence in the economic field at large in the world. But those who are ready to capture the boost and the recap of what will come will be the first. We could be one of them, especially Egypt.
Yes.
We could be one of them.
Yes. So, Dr. Waly, how do you see the importance of the bilateral cooperation between Egypt and the European financing institutions in supporting the sustainable development plans?
Yes. Well, we actually, through the last 3 years, there were kind of understanding or that from 2017 to 2020, we get into agreement on that. We agreed with the European Union on certain aspects of how we will manage the technical and financial assistance coming from EU.
Yes.
And it went successful, everything shows that it was successful, because we have fulfilled all what was agreed upon, especially the areas where this technical and financial assistance should be addressed to. So now there is a kind of new initiative again, that it will be from 22 or 21, let's say 21 to 27. And that's what was going on in discussion. That was the discussion topics with the latest conversation and discussions between Egypt and the European Investment Bank.
Yes, Dr. Waly, how do you see the future of this bilateral cooperation, notably in the field of combating the climate change that affects the economic performance?
Yeah. I was telling you just a few seconds ago, that now it's part of the total understanding of how the financial assistance will be addressed to in the European Union in capacities of financial assistance to of course, to the developing countries, and we are one of them, and maybe we are number one when it comes to Africa. It is, they say maybe 50% will go to all the projects related to the climate problems and climate change.
Dr. Waly, could you tell us more about the role of the Suez Canal and its economic zone, of course, in boosting the bilateral economic ties between Egypt and the European Union, as well as the international financing institutions?
Well, it can be direct and indirect. It's actually both, because the Suez Canal and Suez Canal area, now it's a hub for a lot of very promising and very successful initiatives, especially when it comes to, let's say, green economy, where everything is taken care of in this area, especially in the Suez Canal economic zone. And the Suez Canal itself, it's the artery which is connecting the world, as we know. Of course, it's the fact. So with this specific advantage which we have, a lot can be done, and we can rely on it to increase our fields of cooperation, and even the volume of cooperation with the EU and any other international institution.
Yes. Dr. Waly, could you give us an idea about the history of the cooperation between Egypt and with the help of the European Investment Bank? When did this start?
It goes back to 1979, by the way, as far as I remember. And if you go even, there is some figure says that it's around 17 billion US dollars were invested in many projects, in most of the projects. That's the figures which is announced just lately. But in general, if even since the inception or the materialization of the European Union, the cooperation between Egypt and Europe is great. European Union is really fantastic. Let me remind you of one of the most important things. There was an initiative that's called Egyptian Modernization Project, and then establishing here in Egypt the Egyptian Industrial Modernization Center. And I was privileged and I was honored actually to witness its inception and its development, because it has to do with the industry, and I was that time so involved with the industry as a general manager at that time in the Federation of Egyptian Industries.
Can we say that the relations started since 1979?
This so far I think it is there,
Yes. So what is the criteria by which investors choose Egypt in order to invest in?
You mean foreign direct investors?
Yes.
Well, okay. Well, we have the GAFI, which is the general organization, general authority for investment and free zones. The people there are real experts, and they have their history of success, and they have a long history of cooperation with the world through their staff and their heads, the heads of this authority. So they have the plan, or the overall plan of invest in Egypt, and there is a lot of work and promotion, cooperation and promotion activities to promote for direct investment in Egypt. Of course, sometimes it's ups and downs due to the international situation. But in general, we were receiving some investment, some good investment compared to the status of the world in the COVID years, And now with the infrastructure in its best, so far in its best, materialization when it comes to energy, roads, and many other things, essential for the investor. It's there, it's available. Plus the friendly, what we call the friendly environment for investment. It is there now, and it will be more. So let's hope that when it starts again, the cycle of investment and people looking for where to invest, we could be one of the good destinations for investment, inshallah.
Yes, yes. So how do you see also the cooperation between Egypt and the European Investment Bank in the light of the challenges that the whole world faced after the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, I told you, even with the pandemic, you know, it's now about 2 years. With the pandemic there, we managed to get some good projects, you know, totaling up to $3 billion US.
Yes. I thank you very much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for your valuable information.
Thank you.
I really had the pleasure to host you,
thank
sir,
you very
today.
much. It's
Thank
a
you so
pleasure.
much, Dr. Mustafa Waly, member of the Egyptian European Council and the economic expert.
Thank you
so
very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for following me in this segment. I leave you with other segments coming up next in the Breakfast Show.